Hello, it is me, FocusedCorner. If making a video about console startups wasn't boring enough, how about I make another video about console errors? Seeing your daily driver finally take a stroke after a couple months is not fun at all. It happens to the best of us. One day you hang out with B-Joel3, next thing you know, death. In my opinion, we take console errors for granted nowadays. Back then, if you had one console error, you had to take in the whole damn console for repair. Now I hear even the most craziest of things can fix consoles. Basically something like, oh my god, my Switch is filled with water. Oh, that's just simple. Just clean it with NyQuil. It totally works after that. Sometimes game companies will leave a dedicated little message for you if you have an error. Basically something like, hey, your console's not a Twitter bio. Either the message barely told you what the error was, or the message couldn't get enough of telling you what it was. Like, who thought the PlayStation 2's red screen of death was okay? I mean, come on, we would be lying if we said that we didn't get scared of the PS2 red screen of death at least one time. I mean, come on, my sister's still scared of it.
Alright, let's go. I'm big, I'm here, and I'm evil. I've killed millions of people. Now let's go.
Remember the good old days when they would put error messages in game CDs if we put game CDs into radios or any other thing that wasn't the console? I would always try pulling this move thinking I was slick, thinking, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna defy the laws of God, and I'm gonna play a PS2 disc on an Xbox. There was a peculiar message on every Sega CD game that played when you put a Sega CD disc into a radio or something of the sort, and it was terrifying.
Warning. This disc is for use with the Sega CD system only. This disc contains CD-ROM data and is not for audio use. Please press stop on your disc player now.
I feel like Sonic's pulling a 9 at me, telling me to take off that CD from the radio. Oddly enough, by the time error messages went mainstream, many of these companies went into a weird phase in which error messages had to scare the shit out of people. Of course, one great example is PlayStation with the PS2's red screen of death. But even companies like Nintendo even try making creepy errors, like for instance, the Game Boy Player's error. At least Xbox has our backs. They don't give us scary messages. Instead, they just outright kill the console. Yeah, whenever Xbox has any error messages, most of the time, that console is donezo. Did you know the original Xbox even had the red ring of death? Not just the Xbox 360? I'm gonna be saying that at my job interview. Perfect or hard. Then Sony looked at Microsoft, blushed a bit, and tried to replicate their red ring of death. The PS3's red screen of death is not something you want to have on a Thursday night. In some cases, this is even worse than the red ring of death. But this wasn't as common. In fact, this is the rarest PS3 error you get. Well, this is the only video I could find of it. The Xbox One, to my knowledge, doesn't really have that much errors. If there's one error, it's just because of overheating. But as for the PS4... I've been a gamer through all my life. I played many games, played many consoles throughout my 17 years of existence, and not once have I seen something as distraught as that. Sony never learns. Majority of their PlayStations already have creepy errors, or just errors that just should have killed their consoles. The PS4 is no exception, and I won't be surprised if down the line we find more fatal or creepy errors on the PS5 that we haven't discovered yet. Nintendo surprisingly hasn't had any errors recently. The Wii U and the Switch don't really have that errors except to overheating, of course. I don't really consider overheating an error, as you can just easily fix that by an air conditioner or something like that. But that's a basic summary of console errors. Honestly, console errors are a thing of the past at this point. We have technology that can easily fix these obscure errors, especially overheating. But alas, I don't see them going away for good. But something about these errors, even though it sucks, it's always satisfying to see them on the internet and always finding new things. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned because the best is yet to come. Goodbye.